Picture this, you're kicking back after a brutal day, the rain pounding like it's got a grudge against the world, when a soft knock echoes through your quiet house. You open the door, and there she is, your married neighbor, suitcase in hand, eyes stormy with secrets. What unfolds next isn't just a shelter from the storm. It's the spark that rewires two lives forever. Hang tight, because we're about to unpack the epic saga of Ethan Caldwell, a 27-year-old electrician from the outskirts of Charleston, South Carolina, whose ordinary existence gets flipped like a bad circuit breaker. Ethan's setup was as basic as they come. A cozy one-level bungalow with a porch that groaned underfoot, a yard begging for a mower, and a rusty Chevy truck that coughed more than it roared. Life, clockwork. Alarm at 5:45 a.m. Gulp down instant coffee that tasted like regret. Then out the door to chase down electrical gremlins, faulty outlets, buzzing fluorescents, the works. No big aspirations here. He ditched trade school after a few months because lectures droned on like white noise. Give him a toolbox and a problem to solve. Though, that's where the magic happened. Tangible fixes, immediate results. His aunt had bowed out early to a stroke when he was 20, leaving him solo. No family drama, no romantic entanglements. Just Ethan, a fridge stocked with takeout remnants, and a drawer full of faded Polaroids from better days. Right over the chain-link fence that divided their lots lived Sophia Grant, 34, wedded for 7 years to Derek, a corporate hotshot perpetually glued to his laptop or airport lounges. Their pad screamed suburbia success, pristine flower beds, a gleaming sedan, and zero clutter. Sophia. She turned heads without effort, wavy chestnut locks often swept into a messy bun, amber eyes that held stories untold, and a graceful stride in comfy hoodies or breezy sundresses. Gorgeous, but with that subtle weariness, like life's weight was etched in faint lines around her smile. They weren't pals, just the occasional nod over the fence types. Ethan had lugged in a wayward UPS package for her once, swapped out a finicky floodlight another time. She'd flash a grateful grin, warm, but walled off, never lingering. Lately, though, Sophia was unraveling at the seams. Ethan caught glimpses during his evening unwind. Her on the veranda, lost in thought, cheeks streaked like she'd wrestled with sobs alone. Dinners for one congealing on the outdoor table. Phone ignored, as if it held bad news. Derek swamped again. He'd venture across the divide. She'd muster a week here. Deadlines, but the pattern screamed louder than words. Flash to a muggy Wednesday dusk. Clouds brooding like uninvited guests. Ethan pulls in, muscles aching from overhauling a diner's ancient fuse box. The place reeked of fried onions and stale pie. He's dreaming of a cold shower when he spots Sophia on her swing, bundled in a faded denim jacket, arms wrapped tight around her knees. A tumbler of iced tea sweats untouched nearby. She looks adrift, not just down, disconnected. Ethan could have ducked inside, kept the boundary firm. But no, something pulls him to the fence. Sophia, you holding up? She snaps to, eyes locking on his, and instead of the usual deflection, her voice wavers. He skipped dinner. Third time this week. It breaks on the end. Raw vulnerability slipping through. Ethan's not one for poetry, but the words tumble out. Man, if I were in his shoes, I'd make damn sure you never dine solo. The world freezes. Sophia pivots slowly, amber gaze drilling in. Not shock, but recognition, like he'd flipped a switch in her soul. Ethan's heart jackhammers. He fumbles for a joke to defuse, but she's already dipping her chin in a subtle nod, eyes drifting to the twilight street where fireflies began their lazy ballet. He retreats indoors, face aflame, cracking a brew and muttering, "Smooth move, idiot," flirting with the married lady next door. The following day slogs by at a warehouse retrofit, swapping scorched transformers, mind replaying that nod like a looped video. Home by gloaming, he's knee-deep in a hallway socket repair, sparks dancing from stripped wires, when a hesitant rap sounds at 11:39 p.m. Pulse spiking, he swings the door wide. Sophia, drenched, a sleek carry-on at her feet, canvas satchel over one shoulder, rain-slicked parka over leggings and a tank, composure cracking at the edges, fists clenched white. "I can't face that house tonight," she murmurs, tone even but edged with fracture. Ethan waves her in. "Come on, get dry." She steps over the threshold. The space feels intimate. Charged overhead bulb casts golden hues on scuffed hardwood, a faint aroma of sawdust from his latest project. Sophia hovers by the leather recliner, surveying the room. Mismatched bookshelves crammed with manuals, a coffee table littered with blueprints. Ethan brews peppermint tea from his aunt's forgotten stock, hands her the steaming cup. She cradles it, knuckles easing. Quiet envelops them, punctuated by thunder rolls. Then, stumbled on emails in his inbox. Some assistant, 25, from the Atlanta office. Weekend getaways, flirty banter, the whole cliché. No hysterics, just weary recounting. Challenged Derek, he downplayed. "It's nothing, you're blowing it up." She bolted, bag in tow. "Why my door?" Ethan probes. Families scattered, motels echo emptiness. "What you said ... about not leaving me alone." It echoed. "I needed real." Ethan preps the sofa with fresh linens, a quilt his aunt stitched. She sinks in, breaths evening out quick. He crashes on the area rug, mind whirling, her presence filling voids he hadn't named. Dawn breaks with robust coffee scent. Sophia's at the stove in his oversized plaid shirt, sleeves rolled, flipping bacon. "Hope it's cool," raided your pantry. Figured floor sleeping warrants a decent wake-up. They chat over plates. Her freelance photography gigs, his quirky client tales. She confesses the marriage facade, years of one-way effort, ignored anniversaries. Ethan shares aunt stories, the hollow after her passing. No more solo battles, he ventures. Her eyes soften, lingering. Routines merge seamlessly. Safer claims her nights. Mornings, she preps Joe, leaves notes, out for a jog, back soon. Evenings evolve. She experiments with recipes. Lemon herb chicken from pantry staples. Him grilling veggies on the charcoal pit. Laughter bubbles over botched desserts. She sketches logos on napkins. He demos multimeter tricks. Intimacy blooms subtle. Fingers grazing during dish duty. Shared glances over board games pulled from dusty shelves. One humid afternoon. Ethan's under the truck hood, all smeared, tweaking the carburetor. A rogue spark zaps his thumb. Yelp echoes. Sophia dashes out, towel in hand, face etched with whirring. "You good? That sounded nasty." She inspects the welt, then chuckles deep, trying to bail on me before I even file papers. Their mirth mingles, easing into easy banter. Groceries become joint ups. Her steering the cart through aisles, him sneaking in junk like cheese puffs. They debate brands, her opting organic, him budget friendly. Back home, unpack amid stories. Her college escapades in art school, his teen pranks wiring buddies' bikes with horns, nights deep in connections, deck lounging under string lights he rigged, swapping dreams, hers, traveling solo, capturing sunsets in Tuscany. His, building a workshop, maybe mentoring kids in trades. Derek's calls get silenced, her resolve firming with lawyer consults. A crisp evening, backyard fire ring crackles. Sophia feeds flames with mementos, anniversary cards scripted in lies, Polaroids of forced smiles, a locket from their vows. She passes Ethan a jar of licorice twists, from my grandma's recipe, for the guy who gave me sanctuary. Flames dance, shoulders touch. Words unnecessary as embers fade. But shifts loom. Over brunch, her fluffy omelettes, his hash browns, suitcase reappears, packed, secured aloft in town. Time to reclaim my space. Ethan's gut knots, but he affirms, go for it. You've got this. Porch farewell. That solo dinner vow. If I crave a partner who sticks ... gates unlocked. Brews always hot. Hands brush, she departs. House reverts to quiet, but infused. Her scent on linens, sketches pinned to fridge. Ethan tinkers, reflects, life enriched. She's blocks away, thriving, bonds like theirs, slow burns, enduring. If she returns, welcome mats out, but wait, that's just the hook. Let's dive deeper into the layers that made this connection unbreakable. Rewind a bit. Ethan's early days in the bungalow weren't always so solitary. After his aunt's passing, the place echoed with ghosts, her knitting basket in the corner, recipe cards yellowed in drawers. He'd bury himself in work, volunteering for overtime shifts that left him zombie-tired, collapsing into bed without supper. Weekends, yard maintenance or truck tweaks, avoiding the void. Sophia's arrival next door was a blip at first, polite waves as she and Derek unloaded moving boxes, her laugh carrying over during their housewarming BBQ he politely declined. As months ticked, Ethan pieced together their dynamic from afar. Derek's car absent more often than not, Sophia's solo evening walks, the way her porch light stayed on late, like a beacon for no one. He'd catch her gardening, knees in dirt, planting tulips that bloomed vibrant come spring. Once, a storm knocked power. Ethan offered to check her breaker, finding her flustered in the dark kitchen. Thanks, neighbor, she'd said, handing him a cookie from a batch she'd baked to kill time. That was their rhythm, surface level, safe. The unraveling accelerated post-holidays. Ethan noticed Derek's absences stretching, weeks, not days. Sophia's smiles thinned, her ways mechanical. One crisp fall day, he was raking leaves when she crossed the fence line, holding a pie tin, pumpkin made too much. Thought you might like. They chatted briefly. Her love for seasonal baking, his allergy to nuts, good thing it was plain. But her eyes betrayed fatigue, shadows under them speaking volumes. Cut to winter's grip, snow rare in Charleston, but a freak flurry blanketed the suburb. Ethan shoveled both drives, spotting Sophia inside, silhouetted by window light, pacing with phone in hand. Later, she knocked with hot cocoa, for the snow hero. Sipping on his porch, she confessed lightly, Derek's stuck in Chicago, flight delays. But the tremor in her voice hinted deeper woes. Spring thawed tensions. Ethan overhauled his garden shed, Sophia offering input on layouts. You're handy, ever think of flipping houses? She'd tease, banter flowed easier, fences feeling lower. Then summer's heatwave. Power surges, Friday cease. Ethan fixed hers gratis. Inside our home briefly. Pristine but sterile. Photos of her and Derek stiffly posed. Appreciate it, she said, voice laced with unspoken thanks. The Catalyst night wasn't isolated. Build-up simmered, post-knock. As Sophia settled, Ethan pondered his impulse. Why her? Loneliness mirrored, perhaps. Her presence infused routine with purpose, shared meals evolving from awkward to anticipated. First breakfast, clumsy, eggs overcooked, but she praised, better than cereal. Lunches packed for his job sites, sandwiches with notes like don't zap yourself. Afternoons, she'd tag along on errands, picking paint for his bathroom refresh. Teal, matches your eyes, she'd quip, blushing. Evenings, movie marathons on his ancient DVD player. Her picking rom-coms, him action. Pauses for debates. Happy endings real, she'd muse, hoping so. Intimate moments piled. Laundry days, folding together. Her teaching origami with old newspapers. Patience is key, she'd say, hands guiding his. Stargazing on the lawn, blanket spread, her pointing constellations. Orion's belt, like your tall one. Laughter peeled, barriers crumbling, challenges arose. Derek's persistent texts, her ignoring till one erupted in tears. Ethan comforted from afar, offering tissues, not advice. You're strong, he'd affirm. She filed papers mid-stay, confiding fears. Starting over at 34, he'd counter, better than stuck. Community whispers started. Neighbors eyeing her car parked overnight. Ethan shrugged off queries, helping a friend. Sophia faced it head-on. Coffee chats turning therapeutic. Bonfire night expanded. Not just burning relics, but stories shared. Her childhood in foster care. Craving stability Derek promised but withheld. His aunt's wisdom. Fix what's broken, but know when to rewire. Embers symbolized rebirth. Departure morning. Air thick with unsaid. She left a keychain, wrench-shaped, for the fixer. Drive off bittersweet. Ethan waving till taillights vanished. Post-departure. Ethan revamped, joined a hiking group, volunteered at shelters. Sophia texted updates. New shoots from her balcony garden. Invites to art shows. Their paths crossed at markets, chats lingering. Reunion sparked months later. Her knock, no suitcase. Just takeout, dinner. Don't want to eat alone. Ethan grinned, table set. What followed? Slow, steady, dates, hikes, merged lives. But that's another chapter. Damn, what a ride. Ever sheltered someone who rewired your heart? Spilling comments, like, share for more soul-stirring epics.